Hey guys, it's Marin and welcome to the Mastering Myself series. So this series came up because I was on a little roll being really happy and thinking things were great, and I wasn't being very conscious or reflective of my life and how, what's going on, and certain imbalances creep in, and you're never going to make it in this journey. So I really believe in the idea of constantly improving, constantly searching for things to grow and improve in. So before I get started on today's topic, which is adrenal fatigue, I want to share with you the 3 areas that I am focused on working on improving in myself. And those areas are being conscious and present in my connections with other people, finances, not only being good at making money, which is something like that I feel like I am, but also good at investing money. And this is sort of something that I've been researching for a really long time, but only now starting to implement. And lastly, myself, taking care of myself, which brings me to adrenal fatigue. So, hi, my name is Marin. Yes, I have adrenal fatigue, and I've had adrenal fatigue for as long as I can remember. Actually, since I left college. So just a short little summary. Adrenal fatigue is basically when your adrenal glands are fatigued and they're not producing the right amount or balance of hormones in your body. This causes things like increased irritability, stress, completely fatigued, like tired, unmotivated feeling, mood swings, bad PMS symptoms, a whole slew of things, but those are the main things that I've experienced and that most people experience. Also, adrenal fatigue affects most people in this country, so it's not uncommon. If you're feeling any of those symptoms, it's quite probable that you have some level of adrenal fatigue. So I got adrenal fatigue because I took a lot of steroids when I was trying to lose weight. And this is a long story that I don't want to get into, but basically I was a competitive athlete, and once I stopped competing, I didn't know how to cook for myself, ate terrible, gained a bunch of weight, and in desperation of trying to lose that weight back, I met somebody who introduced me to a few types. They're considered mild steroids, but it messes up your system nonetheless. And I was also on birth control for 6 years. And when I came off all of those things, I had a major adrenal crash, and I started experiencing severe PMS and lots of mood swings, especially during that monthly cycle. And so I didn't really realize that for the next decade or more, I was going to suffer or have to deal with the challenges of adrenal fatigue. So I went into so much research, becoming a fitness trainer, a really good fitness trainer, getting into holistic foods and veganism. And after learning a lot, these symptoms have improved over time, but I didn't really know that adrenal fatigue was what I was suffering from until recently I got my hormones tested. So there are 2 types of adrenal fatigue. There's kind of mild and severe. And technically, if you have a severe adrenal fatigue symptoms, which is what I have, it means that you're not producing enough cortisol, or your cortisol is relatively low. For me, I wake up and I basically have normal cortisol levels for the first few hours, and then it tanks to nothing, which is absolutely not normal, and most people would feel bedridden or like it's impossible to live life. To wake up and walk up the stairs is like a very difficult, effortful thing to do. So the only time that I didn't experience this kind of was actually when I was on 80-10-10. And it was awesome. I didn't even really realize it, but I just remember thinking, wow, I can work out really hard and this feels really good. Now, the stubborn person that I am, all these years, I've just forced myself to work out vigorously. I just thought, exercise is really good for you. It helps balance the hormones. If anything's wrong with my body, obviously I sweat it out, work it out, balance it out, and I just forced myself to do it. But over time, it started to get harder, and my reaction to the workout started to get worse. Like afterwards, I get really irritable and pissed off, and it just didn't feel good like I thought it was supposed to, and I wasn't understanding why. So it's important to note that if you do have low cortisol levels, vigorous workout is not good for the adrenal fatigue. So I read about the reason is because your body's already having a hard time producing hormones like cortisol, which is a hormone that you need when you're working out. And if your body's not producing enough of it and you force it to produce more or to use that cortisol that you have for your workouts, then you have none left, and it just puts you in a more imbalanced state. So what you technically need to do, or what I've learned for myself, is to support the adrenal system without overtaxing it. And it's kind of this delicate balance. So while it's really awesome that I'm sharing all this information, I just want to disclose I'm not an expert at this. I'm just sharing my journey and the things that I've learned through it, in hopes that if you are feeling the same way or a bit lost with how you're feeling or perceiving the world, that this might help. But the best thing to do is really get a hormone test, get it analyzed by a naturopathic doctor or your regular doctor or a hormone analysis expert. With that being said, I have 3 main focuses to help support my adrenal fatigue, and that is to go back to the 80-10-10 diet. This is not a diet that I would say is meant for everybody. It's not even one that I would say I advocate. All I know is that it really feels good for me to be on it, and it's kind of a tough thing because I'm very busy and I spend a lot of time working and moving around a lot, and so it definitely takes a lot of planning to sustain and really consciously focusing on eating and getting the calories in throughout the day. But for me, it's worth it to sort of get that recalibration and sustain it. Next is sleep. I'm trying to get to bed every night by 9:30 or around 9:30. They say that the more sleep you get before 10 p.m., the more efficient or deeper of a sleep you go into. It's just better sleep, apparently. And I definitely have spent the last 5 years not getting to sleep before 10 p.m. between the babies and then me and Brett having our, together time once they go to sleep. It's really easy to put sleep off. Next for me is to exercise. So while vigorous exercise might not be good for people with severe adrenal fatigue, exercise is still absolutely necessary. And for me, I think that's what really helped improve my symptoms of adrenal fatigue, hence why I'm not bedridden, is because once I got pregnant, I just really focused on mild exercise since then. We do a lot of swimming, walking, light hiking, bike riding, and even carrying the kids as a form of exercise. And I really think that has helped me not really push for vigorous. And there was a point in my life a few years ago where I'm like, you know what, it doesn't feel good to work out hard. Like, I just need to take it easy. And it also gives me a lot of empathy for how hard I was on my women clients back in the day, because this is just a side thought, but I'm like, I have such a hard time training women back in the day, and I think it's probably because they suffered from these type of things, adrenal fatigue. I'm not just saying this pertains to women, but I would assume that women can feel those symptoms more severely, more frequently, because they deal with the imbalance of hormones during the menstrual cycle. So just some thoughts there for you. If you are doing things like caffeine or regular boosters for energy, those are things that you would probably look into stopping while supporting it with a lifestyle. I know for me, my doctor recommended that I take adrenal support, something you could find at your local health food store, but at the same time, something that I would recommend speaking with your doctor or your naturopath about. Because I started taking it just full force, literally the adrenal support put me on my ass. And the reason is because when the adrenal support enters your system, like a good high quality adrenal support, it's going to stimulate your adrenal glands to help produce those balanced hormones. And when your body feels more imbalanced, not imbalanced, but in balance, it will start to do the normal functions that it's supposed to do, like cleaning out your system, rebuilding cells, purging toxins. All those things sort of get put on the back burner when you're experiencing adrenal fatigue. So I literally started breaking out. I felt like I was sick. I was so tired, fatigued, like I could not function. I tried it for 2 weeks, but my business started suffering. Little did I know that you had to start slow. So I'm now on 1 capsule of the adrenal fatigue or adrenal support every evening. We'll see how that goes. They say symptoms should relax within 1 to 3 weeks, and then you can bump it up until you feel like you don't need the support anymore. So again, talk to your doctor or your naturopath, and yeah, let me know if there's anything else that you experience or things that have worked for you in the comments below. If you have been able to cure adrenal fatigue, it would be really awesome to hear your thoughts on it. And thank you so much for just hanging out and having this conversation with me. It feels so great to have your support and to just have you guys as an accountability partner. I look forward to talking about the 2 other topics later on, which is investing or saving for finances, as well as wholehearted quality connection time with the people you love. Thank you for joining me. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. If you have any other requests pertaining to family, travel and adventure, positive lifestyle, wellness, or business, stick them in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.